It's good to be here from Central Liberia this morning. 19 minutes walking away, 8 o'clock in Central Liberia right here. A pleasant good morning and welcome to Radio Totota early morning rap talk show. We apologize for that break in the experience right here this morning. It's a fascinating breakfast show for Central Liberia. And this morning, like I said, on the first portion of our guest hour, we play host to Tinkafia, and on the second portion, we're hoping that we will have Wallon OG Kalibor. I'm getting singular because of the new policy. You have to cooperate so that we can make things happen rightly. So instead of Tinkafia appearing this morning on the first portion of our guest hour, they will be here by 9 because the second guest is unable to be here because of some task issue. So Tinkafia, we're hoping to have that on the second portion of our guest hour. So this morning is an honor sitting with one of Liberia outstanding journalists who works with Proud FM and also report for Focus on Liberia TV. And we are here this morning to talk on a wide range of issues in relation to our limitations. Everyone have limitation in their works to do. We will talk about the journalist role in these critical elections, and we will also talk about the politicians on the way of doing things, what they need to do in these elections, and the role of the citizens in this election, because the citizens are the electors who will be going to the ballot to have their voices being recorded on to that. So it's good that Tinkafia Luigi Sopolo will be here by 9 this morning. Thank God that he will be here by 9. So it's an honor, it's a privilege having one of my colleagues. It's a pleasure having you this morning. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning, Albert, and it's great to be here at Radio Totota. Let me say thanks for the job well done here. I followed what you do on the radio every morning in making sure that the people of Bong County, specifically Lower Bong, get the news. So it's great to be here. Of course, I think this is my second time, if I'm not making a mistake, to officially appear on Radio Totota. And of course, this broadcast is being televised on the US-based Focus on Liberia television. We live across the world. So it's great to be with you. I mean, I'm honored. I always feel proud and welcome when I traveled out of Liberia, be in the county or in other countries. When I'm part of the media, part of a media institution, I feel welcome. I feel that that's my home because we journalists, the media institutions are our home. So it's great being here this morning.
Wonderful. People want to know you. Who is talking?
Yes, so my name is Prince Moba. I'm a son of Bong County. I was actually born in Siensu to Mr. and Mrs. Lower Moba. My mother is late now. And my father is Joseph S. Moba. He actually came from the Boyama region. We had a farmland in Boyama. That area borders Boyama Clan and Siensu Clan. He had a village there. The village used to be called Joseph Village. But I left the village. I came back to Siensu to go to school. And grow in Siensu. I did everything in Siensu. So I'm more like a citizen of that side, more than the Boyama region. Left from there, went to Monrovia. Went to school, did some high school journalism at the William V. Stoney High School. Graduated, took the profession seriously, have worked with the Liberty Radio. I worked with Pram FM currently, and I also work with Focus on Liberia. I'm Pram FM assigned legislative reporter at the lower house, that is the House of Representatives. I have called the legislature since 2013, and I'm still there. So that just me, and I feel proud of being a journalist who feel that the profession should be merited, the profession should be respected regardless of who is the personality being talked about we are journalists, and we should be considered that way. So that's me. Just a little bit about me.
Wonderful. It's a pleasure having you on this morning magazine program in Central Liberia, wherein we serve the day agenda to our people. So basically, let's talk about the importance of this entire conversation we are about to have, more especially outlining the role of the journalist, the politician, and the citizen. What's the importance?
Great, thank you for that question. And this is one of the things that I have always loved to talk about. You know, journalism is a very, very unique profession that comes with lots of respect, that comes with responsibility to the public and to yourself as a person who's a journalist, who sits behind a microphone. That's why it's been said that the microphone is the most powerful tool in any democracy, or the most powerful weapon in any democracy. So the microphone should be properly used. The pen should be properly used. If they are misused, it brings society into chaos. And so, having said that, let's look at some role of the media in general during electionary period, especially the community radio. Because at the community level, everybody wants to have their voice heard. And that's what the media does. The media should be able to elevate, the media should be able to amplify the voice of citizens across the country, so that those who are not around when an individual speaks, they will have the opportunity to hear them. And so, one thing one of the first things I'd like us to look at in journalism, be it at the level of the community or the national stage, we as journalists should try as possible to objectively and equally cover political candidates during election period. That's the only way that people will feel that we are doing journalism. We should do it objectively. We should do it equally. What does that mean? Especially, let me be specific with my county where we are now. Everybody now wants to have their voice heard. Based on our policy as an institution, we should create that person will not feel cheated. So that's the first thing we should do. Let's provide that space. And that space should be what? Objective. It should be equal. That's the first thing the journalists should do, especially during election period. That is the goal. We should set that goal. If you do that, the public knows exactly what you're doing. Another thing we should do is we should be able to monitor the election period, the processes that lead to the election. Let's monitor the transparency of the election. Let's monitor the credibility of the election, and let's inform the public about that. What is that? The election is being held by a body called the National Elections Commission. That process starts maybe a year time. The commission comes up with a guideline or its timetable. Maybe that runs for 1 year or 2 years. The journalists should at all times monitor how transparent that process is. You get me out? Like you do here, most of the time you have time to call politicians here and candidates of political parties, independent candidates, and ask them questions. And they also have jingles on the radio that educate Liberians from the National Elections Commission. But you should be able to go beyond that, monitor what the NEC does. Because any mistake the NEC makes, it has a propensity to plunge the nation in the chaos. The election has local magistrates in the counties, in Bong County, in Bapolo, in other counties. The community radio station has that responsibility to check on what the magistrate does. Because remember now, I mean, we all human beings, even our journalists, even though we have a role, a responsibility to carry out, but notwithstanding, we are all human beings, we have right to vote. So once we have right to vote, it means that we have sides. So the same goes to those who are election magistrates and election workers. But sometimes, if people put their personal interest or personal feelings into the professional job they do, then it becomes compromise. That's why the media is important to monitor the process of the elections, how transparent it is, how well every single person who is taking part in the election is being treated.
So that's the time you have the war objectivity coming into existence in the work we do as a journalist.
That's it. That's how you should be objective.
You got to be objective.
You have to, because let me tell you something. One of the good things about this job is once you provide that objectivity and then that level playing field, that's how people respect you. That's how people see you as an independent journalist. That's how people see you as credible. That's how people can trust you to even give you information, that you can rely on and do your publication. Okay? So you have to be objective. Even monitoring the transparency of the election, you have to be objective. You don't have to be seen in the eye of the public as a partisan. Once the public perceives you as a partisan, of course you lost the relevance, you lost that trust, you lost that public confidence. Nobody wants to listen to you on the radio. As soon as Abbott comes on the radio and begins to talk, someone says, forget about Abbott. Abbott is a bored journalist. Abbott is a surrogate to Kennedy's X, Y, and Z. So you should always try to leave that space. Notwithstanding, it doesn't also mean that you cannot have a relationship with politicians. We are human beings. We have, like for me, I have personal relationship with politicians, both from Bong County and from most of other county and other counties. But it shouldn't in any way dent or indict or spoil or erase our independence as journalists. So I'll talk about two things for now. I'll talk about we should be objective, and we should create the equal space for all, right? We should also monitor the transparency of the election processes from the national level to the local level. Since we are at the local level, we should be transparent. We should look at how transparent the local magistrates are. How are they going about to provide the information needed? How are they working with the head office of the election commissions to make sure that the jingles are all on the radio, to ensure that the promos are being aired on the radio, to ensure that the commission pays the airtime for the institution at the local level. That's the second thing. That's our second rule as journalists. Let's look at the third one. Why we highlighting transparency and looking at breaches of conduct and all that kind of thing. The media is supposed to maintain equal distance between all parties and political candidates. What does that mean? For example, you just say on the radio, if your policy says before someone appears on this radio, you should pay maybe $5 for airtime. Not because Prince Moba is your brother, he's contesting to be representative of Bong County District 6. He comes, then I was come on the radio. Then when Jonah Moba, for example, comes, because he's not your brother, he says, Jonah, you have to pay the $5. Then you're not giving that equal distance, that equal space. The media should do that. Your policy should be the policy. It shouldn't be biased. Are you there? That's our second rule during election period. Let's be straight with that. Okay? Let's be straight with that. We should be able to provide, maintain that equal distance for all candidates so that their voices can be heard. We should correctly exercise that role. Okay? The reason why I'm emphasizing on those things, especially at Radio Totota and with you, like I said from the onset, you have done a tremendous work here. Since I've been following you, I'm one person who follow all of your shows. Maybe you are witness to that. I watch it. And once you go in live, I watch the live field and make my own input and comments. So with that level of what you do, at this level of your career, stay at the community level, at radio level, and then doing tremendous work, you have to maintain the kind of trust that tomorrow, when the time comes, you've been elevated, maybe to go to Monrovia and have employment with one of those bigger stations, you already have that trust. As soon as someone hears a voice on the radio, they say, oh, that's Albert, I know him. Albert has established himself as one of our best, so yes, I can follow him. So, but if at this level, people perceive you to be one-sided, People perceive you to be bored. People perceive you to be someone who is not objective and independent. Of course, to gain that popular confidence, it's going to take some time. So that's what makes this job very much unique. It makes it very much important. And I just hope that those of us who are practicing it, we have it at the back of our mind that it doesn't end here.
Wonderful. So let's talk about the relationship of these politicians with various media institutions in various counties and across Liberia. Let's talk about that relationship, because sometimes looking at the electoral policy and managerial policy at various institutions, sometimes you have one politician will just go around and criticize that institution. Oh, that guy. Those that are at Radio Totota or other institutions around, they for party A instead of party B.
And that's the next thing coming up. But let me just conclude with it. You are not the only victim of that. We are all victims of that. Every one of us. Because the politicians feel that, you must always sing that song. But I'm coming to that. Let me complete it. Let me just talk the last two
All right, go ahead.
of the media. Another thing we should always do as media practitioners when there are elections, let's allow all candidates to present their platforms. There's something called platforms. They are under obligation to do so. We should ask them for it. That's our work. Nobody will come stand here and tell you, say, I want to be representative of district number 6, when he or she cannot tell you what they're going to do. So the media is under obligation to demand that from them. Ask them for it. There's a law that gives us that right. They call the Freedom of Information Act. Anything you need, you file for it, you send a letter to them. Even though the law says they have 30 days to respond to your inquiry or communication. Yes, but during election time, they do not even need, during election time, politicians do not even need Freedom of Information Act invoking before they can present a platform. So in media studies, we see politicians during election period, the media should demand that they present their platforms. They then tell us what they will do, how they're going to manage our people and our resources that are going to come from the national budget, how they're going to implement projects in the interest of the people, how they're going to represent our interests at the level of the legislature, how do they understand the responsibilities that lawmakers have or politicians have. So that's another thing we shouldn't leave out. But then this is the most important one for us journalists. We should avoid supporting a specific candidate. Journalists. Ego. Those of us that somebody can go on our Facebook pages and post our side of interest. Maybe we just call one politician at all time. Nobody else that will call us. Whether they call us and not call us, when they're having national events, we should call it. But if we do not do that and decide to support a specific candidate during election period, then we are compromised, and that's the worst thing. That stigma will never leave you. You can do something. There's something we call sabbatical. If you want to support somebody during election times, go on sabbatical, take a sabbatical leave, use the microphone. Don't sit on the microphone.
Leave the mainstream.
Yeah, leave the mainstream journalism.
Go behind the scene.
Go behind the scene and support your political interests. When the time ends, you come back in the mainstream journalism. But you can be actively on the microphone, informing the public about information, about things happening. Then you're supporting a specific politician. A journalist shouldn't do that. Let's avoid that. You can be friendly with them. Let me give you this example of one of my colleagues, and many other in the media anyway. I mean, I don't want to call, but I don't want to talk about the rocking CA. Some of the
sometimes, what make it lovable, wherein you will see both of the supporters. Whenever people come from from Monrovia, for instance, our media colleagues, and sometimes it's shocking, wherein you will see those that you want to make as a role model, we that are in the rural part looking at their work, seeing them wearing the face cap of the politician, wearing the t-shirt, coming into public space, and sometimes you see some of the community dwellers here hailing them because they are in support of that, and that's the only time you can hear them. This journalist is the best, this person is the best, but just how you want to talk on the truth, sometimes they take it to be a bias,
and that's unfortunate. That's very, very. No generally does that. If anybody does that, then you need not to give them the credence to wear a paraphernalia of a political party as a journalist. That is to wear party regalia. and come in a public space is grossly ineptitude on the part of a journalist. That is unethical, that is condemnable. It is against our ethic as journalists. We shouldn't be identified. What I wanted to have said, that does not mean, like I'm saying, to avoid supporting a specific politician. It does not mean you cannot be a friend to a politician.
To a politician.
The difference between being a friend and being supporting that two things. Two different things. And so I was trying to talk about one of my colleagues, right? And I want to talk about the rugby CA and maybe the other guy. Let me be specific with front page Africa reporter Henry Kamo. Maybe you don't know him. Henry reports from the legislature. Henry has a very good relationship with most of the politicians. The Edwin Snow, the Zopel, the Fonati Kufa, and many others. But Henry has reported some of the denigrating stories on those lawmakers. It doesn't spoil the relationship. It doesn't. Just a few days, the United Party had a press conference, talking about the CCTV footage that was leaked from the Robert International Airport about Joseph Boagai. Before that video was leaked, Henry wrote a story. And the caption was, Sig Lee or what? Boagai leaves Liberia. And then the guys at the United Party have problems. Someone went for the press conference, party owner in particular brought the story. He said, why can't I put that kind of story? And I was telling whether me, Henry Kamwe, and party owner was together. I said, what's the headline? What did the headline say? Was it a question? Was it a specific statement? And it was a question. So, Henry went on Facebook and showed the headline of the story rather. And I asked Patrick, I said, Patrick, I know you. Well, we stay alive. Okay, we're back.
All right.
No, don't be shy. It happens in Monrovia. So it happens.
So thanks for rejoining us, folks, on this program. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it happens even in Monrovia. So it shouldn't be surprising when it happens into the time. The current goes in the time. So.
But we enjoy 24-hour electricity.
Oh, that's great. I mean,
that's a good part about Totota.
Thank God for that.
Stable then.
The Monrovia.
Yeah.
You don't have to meet your work on that.
And then Monrovia.
They feel that you looking for current or you gotta go stay in line for 2-3 hours. So what I was saying, when Patrick was beginning to lecture, I said, Patrick, I know you when you're on the radio, when you're on the microphone. I know the kind of person you are when it comes to sensationalizing headlines. Let's say if it were you at that time, you on the microphone, maybe earpiece or somewhere, and then something like this happened. Well, you have to write it. So what I'm saying about your relationship with lawmakers or politicians or political actors or public actors shouldn't compromise the level of job you do. For example, I'm specifically with the current visionary, Honorable Briggs Mesa. There's this issue of the 30,000 lawmakers we're taking.
The legislative from there.
Yeah. I frowned at that. And I wrote stories on that. And I confronted her one-on-one in your office. In your chief of staff office. The chief of staff was there. One of my colleagues they call William Wowie. He's probably known as Media Boss or Corruption Watch.
Yeah,
was
Corruption
there.
Watch.
Yeah. And I told her, Honorable, that is just unacceptable. You can't justify that.
The 30K.
You don't have to take that money. You got all the money that you can take it. Why should you take 30K? Because the reason is that whether it's lawful, whether it's unlawful, but the people that elected you say, we don't want it. Don't take it again. I'm not sure she's still taking it. I'm not really sure of that. The second thing is a wounded clinic issue. Or Marvin Cole. We got Marvin, we're very close. I can call it progressing by now. But I'm one person who sat and wrote all of the stories on Marvin, and I still do that, even because I can stay with clinical on the wounded clinic. One of the supporters from Banga insulted me and blacked me for messaging on Facebook. One Clarence Fogba, let me call his name. Clarence posted some project that Marvin did. I went on your post. I said, where's the wounded clinic?
Because you are telling the hard truth.
Yeah. And he came back. He said, baby, he didn't see, he didn't check properly as I can see. He went in my inbox and he insulted me and blocked me. But that's it. I say with me a journalist, I know him, my friend. I mean, I'll meet him. But I just want to tell you how our job looks like. Don't allow your personal relationship with any politician to compromise a job. If you do that, they themselves will not trust you. They go on the other side. When somebody wants to trust you, they say, don't trust Abbott. I know Abbott. Abbott myself operated before. Once you get in father, you do X, Y, and Z. That's why it's important to be as independent as you can, so that people can trust you. Lastly, before we go to the politicians, the media institution must allocate specific time and equal slot and spaces for all candidates. I think I talked about that. And then the media must educate the voters how to vote. We should do that.
We're always doing it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. We should try to educate our voters. That's our job. Like you were playing some jingles. Somebody was saying that there was a jingle, I think, for NEC.
Yeah,
what is actually calling us for? That's a job. If you sit here, tell the voters how to go about the vote. What's important? What should vote? That's our job. So the media has variety of role to play during elections. I just try to throw light on those few. And again, I always use her as an example. You have tried your best, even though it's not easy. People will always have things to say.
People will always have issues.
You have to put yourself in the shoe now, as we discussed in the shoe. That look, I mean, after this election, I have life to live. I'm still young. I mean, maybe I will leave from this place and go to Monrovia. Maybe work with EFBC, Pram FM, OK FM, Troop FM, all the bigger radio stations. Let me now, establish myself as a trusted ally to the politician so that they can trust me, but not as a one-sided ally or as a partisan ally. Because if you do so trust me in life, let me just come here and I say, let's connive and me, our brother here with the money. Then you agree we'll do it. At that time, if somebody want to give you money for a group, I will say that man is not trusted. Because I know you are quick to connive and eat money. So that's how it works with us. Once you sit on the radio, somebody calls you and say, I guess when I hear for you, man, there's somebody on the radio. The day they're sitting with that person, and that person want to trust you, they say, don't trust Abbott. Abbott is not trusted. That's how the politicians work. Don't mind them going at each other's throat. They meet, they discuss issues, even discuss the media.
Wonderful. Let's talk about their limitation.
Yeah, so let's go.
Their role in this election.
Let's go to the politician.
What they need to do. What are the responsibility of these candidates that are vying for our job?
So one thing I like tend to know, that one thing I like the politicians, the candidates to know is this: the media. The media should be considered as a partner, not an enemy. The media is not an enemy to anybody. The media is a partner that does a specific independent piece of job. The media should not be intruded to with anybody's political cause or interest. Don't do that. Don't censorship the media because you got money. Don't take one journalist from the radio because he's critical on your workings. He wants to know you. That's not the other thing. You have to be curious to go beyond what somebody does. Because Abbott does that, or Jonah does that, or maybe somebody who sits on the radio does that, you as an equivalent politician or a senator or maybe the president or the vice president, then you go to the management of the institution and give them some money to move that person from the microphone. You try to induce the media with money. The media is not an enemy. The media is a partner. Let's consider them that way. And another thing the politicians should know, that they should note that the media is an independent body that does a specific work, and their job, there's something we call constituency. The constituency of the media is the public, while the constituency of the politician is their followers. So our job is to educate the general public and appease or satisfy them, not a particular politician or an individual. Please, especially at the community level, let the politician understand that the job we do is to educate the entire Bong County, not just District 6. Not just District 6. Because I'm sure Radio Totota goes as far as Batala and other parts of
we in
Liberia.
5 counties.
Very good.
5 different counties.
So if you sit on the microphone, you are not here to talk to satisfy one lawmaker or one politician or one candidate. No. Your job, you have a larger audience while the politician has just a support base.
Yeah, support base.
So they need to know that. 2 things. The media is a partner, not an enemy. The media does a specific job, and the media constituency is the public, while the politician constituency is their supporters. Clear. The third thing is the journalism is not law and gospel. That we
is it a praise and worship?
Yeah, no, we are not
every day you can worship them.
Notwithstanding, we are not also here to label, or we are not here to blackmail. We are here to provide facts.
The truth.
The truth.
It's all about truth telling.
Truth telling. We are not here to appease one president, for example. No. We're not here to do that.
But are you taking this into consideration wherein you are now saying journalists, they are calling journalists now partisan journalists. You have journalists grouping themselves on the wrong umbrella. You say journalists for WIA, and you have journalists for Bwaga, journalists for this representative, this one.
And that's why I started. That's why I started with the discussion with the role of the media. So once we understand the role of the media, we definitely know that those who are doing that, they are not doing good. We shouldn't consider them as journalists because they already compromise themselves, and that's one of the reasons why sometimes, which doesn't give the politician the right anyway, but that's one of the reasons sometimes the politicians treat us the way they treat us because the way we portray ourselves, the way we present ourselves. And you know, I mean, what? I don't want to use that. Why a journalist will even come and say journalism support S1. That's unfortunate.
Just an even. That will be over soon.
This profession, because of this profession, one country boy who was born in Siensu, was raised in Siensu, managed to get to Monrovia as a poverty-stricken boy. Because of journalism, he now has the opportunity to sit with the Speaker of the House of Representatives. That's Prince Moba. He now has the opportunity to sit with the Pro Tempore of the Liberian Senate. That's Prince Moba. He has the opportunity to sit with his Deputy Speaker, the President of the Republic of Liberia. I am one journalist among the thousands, I should be proud of that has sat with the President, has shared meal table with him. President Weah. I have sat with him on the table. We eating together. Because of journalism, I have interviewed President Weah. Because of journalism, I have interviewed the Vice President. Not many had the opportunity. So this profession is so much noble that comes with so much pride and dignity.
It's a unique fee.
For someone to just ding that because they feel someone gave them $5 or $10, they support them. That's unfortunate. So we're basically talking about the politician role in the election period. Another thing that we like to tell the politician is politics is not war. Stop being insultive. Stop fighting the media. Stop branding one journalist as an enemy. Maybe the man has not seen the fight about you. What you do if you feel cheated or harmed by any reportage of a media institution of a particular journalist, bring the fight. Come on, because I already said what the media should do, right? The media should provide the airspace for all journalists. For all politicians rather. The media
come and pay for your airtime and provide the clarity.
Exactly, the media should provide it. The only time you have point
when they deny you.
Exactly.
When they deny you with the airtime.
But once the people have this you pay for it, come
you
and
pay,
talk.
You come and
because
the clarity.
Media at the community level, nothing much you guys do here. Even at the national level, it's not easy. What's about the community level? So the only thing you depending on is those small programs you run, and someone appears on the radio. You just told me say people pay maybe $50 per airtime. That's chicken change. That's very little. People have airtime very small.
They have issue with this.
No, but they shouldn't have issue with that because the world over the media makes money during election period. Even in America, one politician can look at one entire media institution and pay for it. Say run it out for me. So that's it. So the politicians should know that we are not enemies of them.
We are friends.
It will hurt them. and then we blackmail them, they have the right to come to the public and provide a fight. Why we honest to our own responsibility, like I said from the onset. Once we provide level playing field for everybody, we will not allow someone who can sit there and insult one lawmaker. We do not call them.
So they also need to provide their platform.
They have to. They must provide a platform to people. Just said it. Because, but let me ask you a question.
So come in, just
I think
make it Bong County better.
We have 6 presidents for the representative seats. I don't know for the senators. I don't know.
You have 10. You have 10 presidents for the presidential. You have 20 presidents.
Yes, that I know. I'm not too clear with the senators.
The senatorial are 10 presidents in Bong County.
So tell me, let's start with the 6 presidents. Those 6 presidents, or the 6 people. How do we evaluate them? How do we?
By their platform.
By the platform. What do you have? Or should we just be behind it because they, anyway, I'm coming to the citizen responsibility. Yeah, because they say that. And so, if you do not provide a platform to Albert, for example, and I was sitting on the radio and said, look, candidate John Brown, even though you have been qualified by the Elections Commission to contest in District 6, but we need a platform. And if you do not show us a platform, then of course, we know that you're not qualified. You might be qualified rather, but then we know that you just come to take our job, and then maybe for your personal needs, so we need it. You're not causing no harm. I don't know when we go to the land. Let me get to the citizens because I'm seeing.
Yeah, get to the citizens.
Yeah, see the phone ringing. So I spoke of 2 things now. I spoke of the role of the media and the role of the politicians during electionary period. I said we media practitioners, we should provide level playing field to everybody. We shouldn't be biased. We should be supporting one side. We should be partisan journalists. On the other hand, politicians, we are partners to you. We are not enemies. We have a larger constituents than you have. Our job is to inform the general public, while your job is to just appease your partisans. So please allow us provide that credible information. On the other hand, you are on an obligation to come to the radio station or the media institution if one journalist maligns your character. If one journalist blackmailed you and you got a fight, come and prove the fight. If you do so, that media institution is on an obligation to apologize and even do a disclaimer of what they wrote. That's journalism. For example, if the way I came here, I say something about somebody, and the person knows that that's not true, they come and they say, Prince was here on Monday, which was the 4th of September, he said, as well as these are the fights. Prince has that obligation, Prince is under the obligation rather to go back either on your Facebook page or to come to Radio Totota and say, I said this and that was not a fight. Finally, the citizen also had a role to play. Because you know why? I don't really know how many of us citizens know the value of our vote. VOTE. In some word is defined as the fortune of a citizen. Your vote is a fortune. Is that luck you have. So what the citizens need to do when we are about to go for elections, the citizens must first evaluate the candidates. Evaluation of candidates is key to the election period. Citizens, evaluate them. Evaluation means check them, look at them, read their platform. If the platform is not readable, if you can't read it in English, I said the media should make sure they put their platform right. The media institution will explain the platform in the dialect, in the local vernaculars. Then know who has the best platform. It doesn't matter who get the best money, the whole money. It matters. What matters is who presents the right leadership. Because in Liberia, we vote people in office for 6 years and 9 years. There's no way you can reverse your vote when the term has not ended. No way. That's why it's important the citizens take the responsibility of the vote. They should evaluate the candidates. They should ask them the hard question. Tell them. But sadly for us in Liberia, my brother, the citizens do not even know. I'm sorry to say, but I don't even know whether they know the importance of the vote they have.
But are you taking this into consideration? Nowadays in Liberia, bulk of the citizens are used to the denigrating statement from politicians wherein people will have the opportunity to go and sell themselves and telling the citizen why they want to be a senator, why they want to be a representative, why they want to be a president. But instead of using the 20 minutes, instead of using 15 minutes of that to talk about their platform and talk about themselves, why they need a job, instead, because sometimes they use the 15 minutes castigating their opponent into this election. So at the end, people just going with fallacy all around, because some of the statement coming from those politicians that are vying for our job are just mere propagandas.
And that's why again it boils down to the media that educate the larger audience. So that's why the responsibility comes to us, right? But the citizen, like I was saying, that's just sad. Sad for Liberia. Our electing of officials is not based on merit. It's not based on merit. It doesn't based on what actually the person offers. So now it's just based on
self benefit.
Self benefit.
You say why get benefit for the person?
And that's saddening. So the citizen, as we go about the election, I don't know when I will come on the radio again to talk this, but please, we have 6 persons in these elections. Evaluate them. Make the best job, because you know why?
The number already large.
Yeah. Because you know when we finish with the election here, we'll be going for 6 years. About 6 good years before we talk about election again. And normally what can happen is when the 6 years end, when the 6 years end, then we start before the 6 years end, rather we start complaining, oh yes, John Brown was there, John Brown was better, or whatever, Peter is not doing anything. That's the sad thing about our politics. They found out another thing I like to say is that vote that we have is just one. We cast it with the one, and it's our right. It's the only power we have as citizens. Which means gamble it. Nobody can buy a vote. Votes are not to be bought. Because I mean, how much somebody can give you for your vote for 6 years? Nobody has to pay.
And sometimes you listen to the citizens, not just 6 years, not just 9 years.
6 years, not just.
Not just.
2 months, not just.
He said because I feel they say I will get it for my brother or sister.
As I conclude on these few topics, I'd like to caution our citizens to remember that the vote they have, in fact, they have the power, they have the working power to give the people the responsibility to work. The work they do is been given to them by them. If they do not vote those people in the offices, they will not work. So therefore, they should be able to vote with caution. They should be able to evaluate the politicians. They should be able to pick the best platform, not what they receive for themselves. Because what their vote is a right, their vote is the property they have, their vote is that is the only property they have under the Constitution. It's just one. And no 2 persons occupy the space at the same time. Only 1 person goes there. So if you make a mistake and put the wrong person there, that person is going to go for 6 years or 9 years, and then someone will become very guilty of making those decisions based on personal gain. And maybe someone, when the person gets the position, they're not going to do what they were doing again. So thank you. Let me go over what I can discuss.
So let me just hold you there and take the 5 minutes of no one.
Yes.
We'll come back and we'll open the line before taking in our guests. I hope you will also target. We got to hold that guest together. So it's good. Let's take this news from Jacob Saki.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Totota 5-minute news bulletin at 9. I'm Jacob Saki presenting First Bit Storage. About 84 persons, predominantly women, and certificates for the Christian Community Women Training Program in Beletana Sonoy districts. The People's Unification Party Senatorial candidate Edward Woman Kafia donates 30 bags of cement and 4 bundles of zinc to the citizens of Totota Sugar Hill community. In Salalat District Muslim Councils endorsed Representative Maurice Bengsa re-election bid. U.S. imposed visa restrictions on individuals linked with several loans for rigging elections could be won into Liberia. Those were the headlines, now the news in due to. About 84% dominance of women have earned certificates for the Christian Community Women Training Program in Beritana Sanoye districts. The More Loan program was sponsored by the All-Liberian Party Representative Joseph Pabakole in collaboration with the Christian Community Women Training Program. The training of the 84 persons in the is continuations of Representative Colette women empowerment exercise across Sanoye and Salalat districts. According to the head of the training, Anchor and Robert, beneficiaries were trained in the areas of soap making, liquids, and chloride makings. At the closing ceremony, Representative Colette appreciated the trainers and students for their dedications to the training for their period of 8 months. Representative Colette at the same time presented 85,000 Liberian dollars worth of empowerment package promising to do more. For their part, beneficiaries of the training extended gratitude to Representative Colette for their skills acquired, describing it as essential to their self-development. The People's Unification Party PUP senatorial candidate Edward Kafia has donated 30 bags of cement and 4 bundles of zinc to the citizens of the Totota Sugar Hill community. The donation is in fulfillment of a commitment made during his citizen engagement in meetings in the area. Presenting the actions on behalf of the team, Kafia, Mr. Andrew Kokwe said the material donated will enhance the constructions of the town hall to enable community dwellers engagement. According to him, the office of Tinkafia remains open to transforming the community positively, but urged them to use the items for the intended purpose. Meanwhile, Mr. Kukwe used the opportunity to call on citizens to vote PUP Kafia for better Bong. And for their part, the citizens through their leadership extended gratitude to Team Kafia for the donation, promising to support the triple-hour vision of Team Kafia, counting on his recent distributions of orange seedings across the county. The Coalition for Democratic Change CDC Salalat District Chapter has launched a fundraising for a member, Diamond Nazar. Mr. Diamond Nazar and 2 others were riding a motorbike heading to Totota from Salalat when the incident occurred. According to Janeton, the drivers of the bike, they were not hit by car as being speculated by many. Instead, while coming from Totman Farm, he felt heavy due leading him to the iron side. The accident left Mr. Nassar's right leg completely cut off and the 2 others injured. Mr. Cannon considered Mr. Nassar has committed servants of the Coalition for Democratic Change and will direct all effort. The CDC Salalat District Chapter Chair Ali Cannon is calling on all partisans and sympathizers to proceeding to the office with their contributions. Mr. Cannon considered Mr. Nassar has committed servants of the Coalition for Democratic Change as we direct all effort in making sure the needed is done. In Salalat District, Muslim councils have endorsed Representative Maurice Bengsa re-election bid. The endorsement ceremony was held on Saturday, September 3, 2023, in Tumutu, when the lawmaker appreciated Muslims at her Tumutu residence. According to them, their action was based on Representative Bengsa's numerous of contributions to the Muslim communities in the districts. They vowed to rally Muslim support for the re-election bid of Representative Bengsa in this year's October 10 elections. In remarks, Representative Maurice Bengsa appreciated the Muslim community for their support while showing her continued support to the Muslims in the district at large. And she said Muslims remain the strong foundations of democracy. As such, her office will liaise with them for the development of the district. The tumultuous gathering was attended by several Muslims leaders including Al-Hajj Vavi Sheri and Sheikh Fantu Kabat. About 109 graduating senior students from the Kerr Salala district are to begin taking assignment at various institutions in the district of Bong and Monrovia. The assignment of senior students is in implementation of the Thompson Development Alliance to a phase of 8 students internship program SIP. At the launch of the program, Madam Famata Barrett, Assistant Minister for Administration at the Ministry of Youth and Sport, admonished beneficiaries to take the program serious because it is important for their education. Madam Braceworth, in support of the SIP, pledged 50,000 Liberian dollars with a commitment of working with the TDA for the successful outcome of the program. However, TDA Executive Officer William Thompson assured students of bettering the program in order to change the status have been for the area beneficiaries. Beneficiaries of the students' internship program have lauded TDA for the assignment, promising to uphold honesty and respect through the period of their respective assignment. And finally, an independent representative candidate of Bong County District Number 5, Moses John Bati, had frowned at lawmakers using the presidency to escape their responsibility to the public. In Liberia, it's becoming a culture where lawmakers usually tell citizens that the president has absolute then the legislators in running their country. But speaking to this station in Batata, Kennedy Moses John Bati, a lawyer by profession, said the legislators have power in running of the state, contrary to the excuse of the president being in power. And said lawmakers have oversight responsibility and something that empowers them to checkmate the president when he fails to do things that I prove through their implementation. Independent candidate Bapi is writing citizens to support for the representative seat of District Number 5 because lawmaking is for lawyers, because they understand their junctures in making laws. And to end the news, here are the main points once again. About 84 persons, predominantly women, and certificates for the Christian Community Women Training Program in Belitana, Sanoye districts. A People's Unification Party senatorial candidate Edward Kafia donated 30 bags of cement and 4 bundles of zinc to the citizens of the Totota Sugar Hill community. In Salala District Muslim Council endorsed Representative Barbara Brice Bensa relation bid. And on the national scene, U.S. imposed visa restriction on individual Sierra Leone for written election could be warning to Liberia. And thanks for listening. I'm Jacob Saki with Radio Totota 5-minute news bulletin.
platform and creating lies and creating fake information about people. Abba will not want to erase Stephen Yemen Bella, which of course is not correct. And Abba will not want to give maybe for instance, William Tama the chance to come and give information about lies that have been created against William Tama by Stephen Yemen Bella. So I think if the journalist is doing this, if Stephen Yemen Bella appear on the radio and create misinformation about William Tama, then William Tama should have the opportunity to appear and read to the necessary checkpoint. So I just want to say thank you guys this morning for the show, and I hope and pray that nobody should take the media to be enemy to them. The media remain a very important factor into the growth and development of Mama Liberia.
Thank you so much. 0777 1055 55. Let's talk about this. You did listen to my colleague who found interest in the field of journalism. Truth telling is the all of the day, and we've been all learning some roles of the media, the role of the politician and the citizen as well. Good morning.
Good morning, Albert, and good morning to Prince Morba in studio there. This is Prince Morris, and I join you from Florida.
Thanks for joining us. Let's hear you.
Well, I listened to the conversation, and let me say thank you to your studio guests. You know, almost all of the issues that were being flagged by you guys, especially when it comes to the importance of the media, especially during the political time, was well coherent. And to admit, those are issues that are currently affecting major political players within our district. You know, during elections period, that's the time you have the opportunity for politicians to present themselves, to present their platform. But honestly, we have observed over the time that the media has not been doing well, especially, let me say, Radio Totota in general, because during political time, we understand that politicians will have the time to pay for airtime, to appear on the radio, to discuss issues, especially about their political movement. But the media right now has created the chances that where politicians will kind of will escape from the media, wherein, for instance, you will kind of charge one politician like $50 to just have like 1 hour appearance on the show. So then if you do that, how will the citizens in general get to thoroughly evaluate the broad politicians that are fighting for a key position in the district? We understand that the media is operating not on government funding, but also there are other means that the media can create programs. Take for instance, we have the broad candidates. This is the time now for the media to be doing evaluations. Trust me, if you would charge the candidate X, Y, Z and pay them with another candidate and say, well, their appearance cost like $100, I'm sure they will be willing to pay, rather than maybe someone just coming up and say, oh yeah, I want to appear on the radio and charge them $50 or $100. It doesn't make sense to me, because if you go to Monrovia, you see other politicians, other media institutions, they are encouraging politicians to appear on a daily basis. And people are discussing the issues.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's the name where you join us from? Good morning.
This is Samuel Bruno, and I'm phoning from the office of the Thompson Development Alliance.
Samuel, 1 minute, go ahead.
I want to say good morning to Big Brother Prince in the studio. Let me appreciate him for his deliberation. These are things we expect in the media. Those things he said. We are not saying in general that these are things happening in the media. Or what he has said are things that we expect to be happening in the media. And we just hope that a lot of media personnel will take heed and so that we have a safe environment, especially during this political season. But let me say this: some of these politicians who think that they can draw line with other media personnel are the ones causing the problem. What do I mean? You have politicians, for example, in our district, that build a radio station, put 2 other guys there, and they insult other leaders on a daily basis, and they say nothing about it. But you still have their supporters coming on radio and want to indict other people when it comes to media workings in the district. These are sad things we don't want to be seen in our district. If somebody want to talk about, if somebody want to preach civility, they should start with right in their home. But you cannot have a radio station that is being sentenced around an individual and against 4 people in a very district. Then you come, you want to castigate other people on a radio station that is propagating a general message for the district. We strongly go against these things. And these are people who shouldn't take seriously in the district. You cannot have radio Kikali in the district and you want to criticize another good radio station. So I hope people are free to also talk about some of these things, because he has followed the media landscape in our district. He knows what is going on, especially from a newly open radio station that is to be for the district, but it is just one individual. These things are not to be accepted. Who also true.
0777 1055 55. Very shortly, we will cross over to Prince to respond to the comments coming in this morning from our participant listening this morning. We talk about the role of the media, the role of the politicians, and the role of the citizen in these critical elections. Remember, election is just an event. It will come and go, but the truth needs to be told in the corridor. Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm okay. Thanks for joining us, Brenda Square. I hear you.
Yeah, thank you for the recognition. Yes, I want to say thank you to your studio guests for providing those information. It's very good for us. And just what is stressful for me, you really make my day, because, as a journalist, as a pastor, those are people who really don't need to show their side, because people depend on them for better judgment. But if you show your side as a pastor, at the end of the day, maybe you might even be going against your members, because everybody will not go the way you want to go. But if you guys maybe keep yourself to yourself and let everybody come and show their own side, what they can do, I think it will be better. And as a journalist, we depend on you people, but it will see that the journalist taking half far. So I don't know whether the journalist is supposed to be having, pastor t-shirt on them, whether it's a good make it to be a journalist.
Unethical. Unethical.
Yeah, because for we who work in the day, they always advise us that we shouldn't wear pastor t-shirt and come to the day. Because once you wear the pastor t-shirt and go to the day, and the day is for everybody. So at the end of the day, you will be putting somebody out of the day, because they will think, this Benin is over there to working as a law officer, and then when we saw with this person t-shirt, with this person face cap over here. So at the end of the day, if by the end come and see by the data only, they will not want to work with me. So at the end of the day, they will not feel comfortable to come to the institution. So we very, and people will know that you are doing such a vision job. The one my brother said, what you're doing today is a sacrifice today, but tomorrow, what you're doing today, you will get a result tomorrow. If you just do it right there, if you just stay your ground, if you just be independent, everybody that's there to go in this state. But if you are able to do something, or if you are working somewhere, at the end of the day, you have to go by the policy of that particular place that you're working. So you just have to agree with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our guest is already around. Prince will come in, but let me make that clarity to Prince. Prince Morris, who called from Flela in relation to the restriction that have been put in place by the management team. That's why we talk about $50 United States for politicians. Frontliner, you come in to talk about another candidate. About your candidate, you got to pay. And today you have Louis Sopolo, who will be here. He will pay. So everyone will pay this money, and you'll be electable. So that's the policy that management said this. So I'm not above management.
All right, thank you. Let me say thanks to all of the callers. Okay, and I really hope that thank you. I was not on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
So let me say thanks to the callers. It was great, and we are on an obligation to provide this information to our people when we have the opportunity, especially in our home. So let me respond to Steven. Steven, thanks for the call. Yes, I think.
Call continue to come. I don't know.
And we had a. You shouldn't worry. I think I had a.
Yeah, let me just take that person.
Let me take that person. Sorry, Louis.
Yeah, look, Louis Bala. Good morning. Good morning. What's your name?
Hello?
What's your name?
I'm Sanjay.
Let me hear you.
Yeah. Please, for drawing out and get a very clear, please get the broken at least 1 hour at least to appear on show. So the people know that the credit is there for them at least they can know.
At the end of the campaign period, we'll give them the time. So take another person. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, about 3 minutes, 5 seconds.
Oh, we have to go because Stephen, you've been on the line. Go ahead quickly. Let's get to
yeah, so that way you see, like what I was saying, Jenna, all of the Google things that you people were discussing in studio, Jenna, I really admire you people, right? But you see now, we always talk about the issue about Kigali. So even if somebody come and discuss Kigali, then we should not even be, we should tell them, look, we need to stop using the kind of money.
But Stevie,
yes. No, like you said the last time, there was no Radio Kigali in Salah this way, and there was no Radio Kigali in Liberia.
So Stevie, I'll respond to that. Stevie, I'll respond to that.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, Stevie, thanks you are following the show.
So we have to take our guests.
So yeah, let me just respond to the callers. Thanks so much, Stevie. So let me say this, right? You're right, Stephen. The journalists should at all times create the checkpoints that we should do. But again, this is a process of learning. Let me not lie to you. The way you see me speak on the radio like this, it means that I've been on the microphone for years. So Albert is growing. He may make some mistakes along the way. And in journalism, the more you make mistakes, the more you learn from those mistakes. So I do not think he's sometimes, I don't know the cases because I may not have followed what they show, but I think he's doing well. But again, I think I'm going to take you into that. There are times you bring the colors into checks. There are times you bring the guests into checks because you are there as a bridge. Like I said, the media is a conduit through which the citizens' voices are heard, through which the messages go to the citizens. So if you are a conduit, then you begin to provide a kind of silent posture, people will not trust you. So I think I will take do you cut yourself on that? You're going to put yourself into that seat. And I also talked to my Ningsi Moba. In journalism, the airspace is the most expensive commodity. The airspace.
But they are budgeting.
I can go and research on that.
Very expensive.
So there are two things you talk about, Albert. Moba. The citizen
Prince Maurice.
Prince Maurice, Sarah Moba. Prince Maurice, there are two things you talk about. And I think what I've understood from the management of the radio station is that politicians, they are frontliners, they are campaign chairs, they are supporters who will come on this video and discuss. For example, let me just be specific with one of the names. Maybe somebody comes to discuss the current representative of Prince Mesa, you must pay for the airtime, that $50 US. But our Prince Mobile here, I pay nothing. Nothing I pay because I come to discuss something also of politics. If the pastor comes here to discuss maybe peace during election time, how citizens should go about to conduct themselves, they will not pay more. I do not think they will charge them for that. And, or maybe like the devil called Bernice, I see her, she's very outspoken, she looks educated. Maybe Bernice comes here as someone who works in a bank to talk about free election process. We're not going to pay money, but for Louis, for example, Louis comes here and say, go and vote for Honorable Kafia. Louis must pay.
You got to pay. Yes,
so you will call Maurice, I'm sure he's supporting somebody. If you come here to pay, you must pay. The only time you will see guests floating here is election time. Even in Monrovia, even though in Monrovia we can call people free because we have preponderance of guests, not here. Over there, everybody wants to appear on the radio. So some people can come, we just give them 30 minutes free to go. You can't compare that place with here. This is a community radio that is striving to come. So the only time you will see people come here in their numbers is during election time. So I do not think the people that I survey them.
But please take this into consideration. At the other stage, you've been following my live video on the early morning rap talk show. Both of the candidates that are vying in Salala district across Bong County, both of them have sat on this platform and discuss cardinal issues.
So Maurice, let's have it as it is. For you as a citizen, if you just want to come here and speak about free election or non-violent election, if the institution denies you, then you got a point. But if you are maybe campaign chair of which you pay, and then we also heard from Samuel. Was that Samuel?
Yes, Samuel.
Samuel spoke about the politician
owning a radio
station and planning journalists to insult. Well, I do not know. I heard that there was a new radio station open in Salada. I went there. But I do not know whether the journalists who are there, they insulting. If any of them did that, I know that my colleague, one of my junior colleagues is there. Thomas West is there. And then Newton Togba is there. If they are in the habit of insulting others on that platform, that is unacceptable. It's condemnable. We're going to follow that as big brothers in the media, and from this side, we will try to provide the education. Again, everything has to do with education. They also depend the way people, the kids place up. But the name Radio Kekali is a very bad name. The West team was coming from. We shouldn't be using those names. On our media, on our community radio station, you know what happened in Rwanda at the time what Radio Kekale did, and that's why when I begin talking, I said the microphone is the most powerful weapon you enter the microphone. You don't play from the microphone. You don't misuse the microphone. And finally, let me speak with my sister Bernice, who called Bernice things. I mean, I appreciate your comments. I will be here most of the time, and I think we're going to find a way to partner with Radio Totota for some of their money shows, for those kinds of education. Thank you so much. Again. My next time here, I will try to talk with Albert so we can have at least some kind of another opinion pool where we're going to set the pace, and then we provide the kind of standard for that opinion pool, so it will be independent. Like I said, this broadcast is live on Focus on Liberia Television from way Atlanta, Georgia, in the U.S. So I mean, thanks for your calls. The bosses there are going to hear your concerns, and they will have their own important education. As to how we can move Liberia forward. Thanks so much. I'm proud.
Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful time. And Prince,
Prince, I
need to carry the TV. The TV will carry our guests.
No, I can't guess. I'm never a guest.
So
I'll take one in a
So we are here. We are partnering with Prince on Focus on Liberia. It's an essential TV because I hope that you guys are promoting peace and showing the good power of Liberia.
Yeah, if you see, we say Focus on Liberia, we educate, elevate, educate, and promote all things Liberia. That's our slogan.
Wonderful. So, folks, let's do some adjustments so that we can take in our guests this morning.
Yeah.
You come from the angle.
The camera now.
Yeah. So we have to look at it. You just need to carry back. That camera needs to go back. Focus. So just put the legs down so that you can stand it down. Yeah, so the legs can come from this. Let's take a bit of sound and do some adjustment right there.
Put it now.
Put it down.
Put it the same way you're standing. You can do it.
Carry it down.
Put it on the floor, bro.
On the floor?
Yeah. The same way I'm going to for you first.
If you're on the floor, that is too clear.
Then you're taking it?
You not take so cool.
Now I say just put it down. Because you got to open it. Put it down. Yeah.
Man, you gotta tell me to get it. They don't get it. Get live.
Leave it, man.
Nothing's live.
Everybody will see.
So it's good to be here this morning, folks, from Central Liberia. It's an honor having one of the outstanding frontlander of Tinkavia within Sarala district. It's an honor having, sir. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you, Abba, and good morning to my own big brother, Prince. It's a privilege to be here. I appreciate Prince. Prince, I've been seeing him for a long period of time. You know, we hail from the same clan, and he's a reporter at the lower house, that is the House of Representatives, representing a media institution that is Prime FM. And basically, some of the things we have come to talk about when it comes to the function of the lawmaker, I think he will, or he can bear me witness to some. You cannot call the name, 10 names of lawmakers in our place before mentioning the names of everyone will make kafia. Of course, many of the friends or colleagues count on him for decision-making processes, and then also count on him for major instrument that goes to the House of Legislature, goes to plenary. So we are great to be here, and the pause to be Senator of Bong County comes out over 10 on whatever moment. Kafia is very active, well in her body, moving from one end to another, continue to identify the needs of the people and making major intervention. Thank you.
Wonderful. So basically, we want to understand there must be a reason why one want to be the next senator of Bong County. Can you outline some reasons why people can entrust? Let me do some adjustment right here. I'm getting serious feedback. Serious feedback. I hope it is okay now. So let's talk about the reason why people should support Elder Woman Kafia in these elections. Let's look at his platform. Can you tell the public?
Firstly, the area of job that Kafia is seeking for is area that have a definite responsibility. We have lawmaking representation and oversight. And like we have always told the people, in the midst of the three cardinal responsibilities, the paramount one is the oversight, because laws have been made over the years, and some of those laws have now have a positive impact on the life of the people. And among all of the aspirants that have been coming to us in Bong County, giving in our votes on a credit basis, sometimes some of them come to us, vote me, and I will be able to develop your community. Vote me, I will be able to represent you well. Vote me with my president, the caucus will be united than ever before. Vote have been given those people with us seeing hand marks, but it is only on everyone will make Kafia whose hand marks can be showing or seen across the county. Lower Bong County has 13 administrative districts, from across the Simple, that is Jumbo Jinkian, going to Baila de St. John, from Fonutoli, going to Jowa. There is no administrative district that you will enter without seeing the hand marks of Honorable Woman Kafia. And the essence of electing somebody to represent you is to advocate on your behalf, is to help you for your community to develop, for you to promote the human resource capacity, for you to provide those programs. That will provide sustainable livelihood of the people. We talk about infrastructure, specifically health center. We talk about working with women groupings. Improving the livelihood of the people through agriculture, where you collaborate with other women groupings, providing beans. And I think you are also aware that just in recent time, there are some distribution of the orange cities across the county, but mind you, first priority is the federal institution. So you may also be aware that he has constructed clinic, across the simple that is in decay, and so forth. Yeah.
So basically, why I asked this question, there must be a dedicated responsibility of people electing people at the legislature, and the House of Senate have been considered as the House of Elders. What are those laws that Representative Kafia is telling the people of Bong County when elected? I will do this law, and it will impact the life of the citizen.
All right. There are so many laws that Kafia have crafted and presented on the floor. Some are passed. Cardinal among the laws is the one that has to do with the small arm. The small arm commission, before crafting that law to present it and to be passed, Kafia took a trip to Madrid in Spain, where he went to attend a seminar in order to provide opportunity to be able to do more research. After Madrid, he went Nigeria. From Nigeria, he went in the Philippines. Came back. That law is now being passed, and as we speak, we have an institution that is set up aside, managed by a commissioner, so as to ensure that no one go with illegal arm across the republic. Anyone that is seen doing that will be charged and then forwarded to court for prosecution. So among all of those laws, that is one of the cardinal law that he crafted and presented, and it was passed in the House of Legislature.
Great. Okay. So again, I'm happy to be part of this interview. I really hope it was the honorary himself. So yeah. So we can ask him the question. Well, it's great, Louis. So I mean, I have few concerns. I have few questions as we go about with this interview. I mean, let me start on this note. Honorable Kafia has represented Bong County for 2 terms, from 2011 to 2017, and from 2017 to 2023. That is representative of district number 5. But one following the shore, or one who is in Bong County, would like to know what is the importance of the elevation. What is the importance of leaving the representative seat and vying for the Senate seat? What makes that important? What is necessary?
It is necessary because of the level of work that Kafia has done over the period of time, in the period of 12 years, and I will be naming some of those works for the benefit of your doubt, because though you are one of us from the district, but most of the time is spent in Monrovia, and it is Monrovia that the opposition goes with the maize.
Who is the opposition? Who is the opposition?
Opposition are people who don't buy by your ideology, who don't dive into your ideology.
Thankfully, I'm not seeing any of them. Thankfully, I'm not seeing any of them.
That's what I said. Probably you are not taking a view, or maybe you came in recent time.
Okay, let's go ahead.
But to respond to your question, and I'm glad, like I said, I am not talking with a grassroots journalist. I'm talking with an experienced journalist, and I'm answering a question that has been given by an experienced journalist who also worked to the area that Kafia wants to go to. Kafia has worked assiduously well over the time. This is why the first time the people saw it necessary to give him the second mantle of authority so that he can be able to continue with the job. And where he is seeking for is that area is considered as a House of Elders. If you look at the Constitution, the preamble of the Constitution, or the craft of the Constitution, they not make any mistake. If you look at the function of the executive to that of the legislature, specifically that House of Elders, when you are there as a senator, you are a sitting president based upon your workings, your coordinative working. You are considered as a semi-senator, a semi-president or a pro-president, because it is the president that has the executive that made appointments. Then after making that appointment, the confirmation is done by the elder, which is the senators. So looking at our kafia who have passed through the rank and file of lawmaking from the lower house, who have served 12 years, I think it is now necessary for him to ascend to the House of Elders, where he will go and represent Bong County. You can also bear me witness at the level.
What does he take to the Senate?
He's taking along with him the 12-year experience of lawmaking, oversight and representation. He's taking along with him crafting a bill and presenting it on the floor, lobbying with colleagues for smooth passage. He's taking along with him a lot of developmental initiatives about government, how government function. So he's taking with him a lot of ingredients from the lower house to that upper house that is considered as the House of Senate. And like I said, you can bear me witness, at that area, there is no political novice there. Everyone that is there has passed through that same rank and file. And Bong County being a county that has a population of approximately 400,000, because we had 308,000. Right now, let me say it correctly so that I can be looking at your face. Yeah. we had prior to the census that was there conducted, we had 308,000 inhabitants. After this census that has not been passed by the legislature, we have approximately 400,000 according to a latest report. So looking at a serious minor county like Bong, that every election year a presidential experiment will take into consideration a vote-rich county that all of them will want to tap into. And then looking at the House of Senate, where you have a lot of experienced people who have passed through that rank and file. Just to name a few: James Emmanuel Nukwe, who served for 12 years in District 5, Maghini County. Edwin Melvin Snow, who served for 12 years in Mosorado, District 6, and later went to Bombi and served for 3 years. 3 years later, he became senator. Looking at Barney, Jim Barney, who also served as a representative at the lower house for 6 years, and later on was being elected as senator. Then we look at the guy from Grand Chile, Zopeno. Zopeno also served for 15 years as a representative, who also was being given the matter of authority by his people to ascend over there. Those people cannot be over there who will pass by you with instrument, with budget under the arm, when you don't know the in and out of that house. You see it like a fly sheet, not knowing it's up. And I think you listen to, because you have been in the media landscape for a long period of time now, you listen to one former senator, I'm just forgetting his name. The man said, based upon their experience, they have the ability to thwart every instrument that will be coming from the air and brought to land on the desk in the plenary.
Do you think the Senate is doing that? Do you think the Senate is doing that currently?
Right now, when they talk about thwarting it, it means that while the decision is coming, while instrument is coming, and you are not aware, and you are not nurtured about it, and you do not have an experience, you will be sitting there while other guys are discussing it and deciding your fate behind you, or deciding your community or your country fate in your person, and you will never know about it. But a character, like everyone will make kafia, who has served 12 years based upon his workings in the district. If you have that character there, whenever a name that every Melvin Snow want to take a decision, a name that James Emmanuel Nukwe want to take a decision, they will be very skeptical, They'll be very mindful and you'll be
you spoke of
consulted.
the bill that comes to the Senate. That's why I was asking that question. I don't know how does that is explained. I thought it's something that that when it's not done properly, they change it around. That's what we are talking about. But let me ask this other question. Bong County is represented at the Senate currently by Dr. Henrik Topa, one of Liberia. I mean, Bong County is proud, and also Senator Principal Dr. Henrik Topa. 10th of 9 year of half of the year that he completed for the senator, the current former senator, Councilor N, if I'm correct. Why do you think there's a need that he be replaced as a senator of Bong County? Why do you think so? Why do you think there's a need that Senator Topa cannot be maintained?
So, for the benefit of the question, I think I need to add, but many of our listeners or many of our citizens in Bong County know the reason for which there's a need to replace.
No, I'm asking you.
So so I'm going to answer.
I'm asking you, saying this.
For the
why
benefit,
would you replace
for the benefit of the
Topa with elder woman coffee?
Replacing Topa with elder woman coffee because Topa is incapacitated.
Okay.
One.
How is he incapacitated? Is he sick? He doesn't walk? Is he hospitalized?
In the first place, since we elected the senator, he has always been in a plane going to the United States for medical checkup.
But anybody can get sick.
And treatment.
I don't know.
No, we are talking.
You're saying you can get sick.
No, we are talking about frequent. The frequent time that is done.
African.
When
was the last time you wanted to get sick?
He has. That is one aspect.
So
if you were alarming flu,
that
is one aspect. Yeah, that is one aspect. The old man, since he was elected, he had always been ill and out of the country for several times. He spent much time in the United States than representing the people. That one. Two.
So that's how I'm injecting.
Yeah.
If you say he has always been outside of Liberia because of illness, I'm asking how frequent, because we are on the radio, people following the show. That's why somebody was indicting my colleagues and I'm not lying.
Yeah.
That one happened to us.
So
how frequent it happens?
So for example, when Dr. Topa is in a session for like a month, he spent the next 2 months in the United States. And there have been no agricultural break that he has spent here with the people. All the agricultural break has been in America. That's one aspect. Two, the responsibility of the lawmaker, the lawmaking oversight and representation. He has never been able to fulfill the oversight responsibility. That's two. I'm
informed that he was part of those that work on the higher commission education aid, and he also played a pivotal role into the. He also played a pivotal role into the Tumutu vocational career stuff. That bill was presented by him from the Senate.
But let me say this to you. There is something that I just said to you. There is something that I just said to you that law has been made since Joseph Chingy Robert time. Some of those laws have never had impact on the community, on the life of the people.
100% agree.
So the oversight surpasses, surpasses 2 of those 3 categories.
Can we put the air that he's done representation of lawmaking, but oversight lacking?
No, he has not done representation well.
Okay, what's about?
I just told you, if I tell you that.
I'm not saying that, but you say you bend all of
if I tell you that he has done representation well, it means that it will be in contradiction to what I just said to you. Okay. That he had never been seen in the House of Parliament where he was elected to go and work frequently as compared to seeing him in America.
Okay.
So representation, he had never done it well.
Unless they do.
That is fine. That is fine. You work in the house, you can follow all of those lawmakers. That is fine. And it is evident by.
I know you went to the States in 2020.
By his working.
I know of that. I did 2020 US.
No, not 2020. It was 2018. 2019 he took over officially because when you hear that sometimes he goes around, goes out to play for, he say he's trying to finish Ballon chorus. That's the reason because he replaced current VP Taylor. Yeah.
All right, so let's go. Let me ask another question. Maybe I will come in.
So what I want you to do for me, the justice I want you to do for me is that when you ask me the question, you allow me flow.
Yeah,
you allow me flow.
I'm trying to clear the air.
I start the question and end it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because
so conclude on that.
Yeah.
I'll ask him what is the need of changing it, right?
Yeah. So I just give you the
yeah, you talk about lack of representation.
Yeah.
Lack of lawmaking.
Yeah.
And I try to interject. I say I'm aware of him crafting a bill. You know, and that they we were. So we come to he said bills are crafted, they are laws, but then they are not being implemented.
Yeah. So what the community look up to? What the community look up to? Is about the oversight.
Great.
And that oversight had never been implemented by Dr. Hemi Tupa.
Okay.
You understand? Every year, every fiscal year, there is a budget that is allotted. When the budget emanates from the executive, headed by the president, and when the budget comes at the level of the legislature, it is every instrument of that budget is divided to each lawmaker for your perusal, flip it page by page, and do either an amendment or do some level of scrutiny and see how you can be able to see how you can put in what is supposed to put there that will be able to benefit the community. And if something had been put in that budget to benefit Bong County, that had never come to reality. Honor the preview of Henry Tupa, that had never come to reality. You understand?
So it would be
so the oversight had never been executed by him. This way I say, well, he had 100% had not been executed by him. And it is if the people give you the power and they don't see that oversight responsibility, you can go with a louder voice and other things. What will happen is that they will have no other option but to run the decision come the next election. This is where he has found himself, because the people have never felt the impact in the community. We have never felt the impact. So let me include myself, because I'm a son of Bong County. That's why I support Kafia, but we have never felt the impact of Henry Tupa in the community.
So it could be a vast situation, and if the budget comes and each lawmaker has that right to peruse the budget, and it shows that what is allocated for the counties and the districts are properly implemented, and according to you, Senator Tupa has done that, we have to do oversight. So it becomes vast. What's some of the men who wanted to replace him, who are also worked on the budget committee before?
So we are talking about developing a house and developing a room.
Okay.
This man who is fighting for the house now to take charge of the house was only occupying one of the rooms.
Okay.
So he had a full responsibility to develop a room, to buy furniture and carry in a room, and not for the house.
Great.
The
so
house,
because
they have the money. But thank God, this man, despite he was being charged with responsibility to take care of a room, he was able to come outside to be able to furnish the various rooms within the house ahead of him being given the house to be able to maintain. In Russia, Kafia, who is now seeking the senatorial seat, is only taking care of one district, that is District 5. But despite he is taking care of the district, he has expanded his hands all over the county. That is considered as a house, all over the country. So there is no administrative district that you will go into without seeing him infrastructure-wise or developing the human resource capacity, or just developing or providing sustainable livelihood of the people through agriculture and other things.
Wonderful. Let me come in there. Let's talk about field engagement in this area. More often people talk about agriculture, people talk about education, and people also talk about health and security. What have been the intervention of Bong County BUP Kafia in this area?
Thank you very much. And I think we have said it time without numbers. Again, for the benefit of this appearance and my own big brother, Prince, who has spent most of the time doing the work in Monrovia. I want to say that when it comes to health, Of course, Okafia is the only senatorial aspirant that have been able to reach out to all of the approximately 48 clinics or health area in Bong County, across Bong County, providing essential drugs for people, working with the health practitioners, helping them to find a way forward. And when it comes to security, you saw in time past, he was able to provide some lights, street lights, and he just broke ground, I think 3 months ago in Bana for the Jongo Power Pool solar system, electricity, and that amount to 155,000 United States dollars. If you put it in Liberty, it will be over millions of dollars. Agriculture. He has been able to identify, and among the candidates, all of the candidates, the only candidate that has program, that have manifesto, that have priorities is Lower Bong County. And I know you've been hearing the slogan around here, the restore, rescue, and rebuild. This is done to be able to alleviate the people from the destitution of property that they have lived over the years, because it is necessary to carry the man to the water side to teach him how to fish, then to just provide fish for him. When you start being there no more, I think that man will go starving, and which might even lead to his death. You understand? So predicated upon this, Okafia introduced the triple arrows, thereby traveling to Ghana, Sierra Leone, getting orange seedings, came back home, put them on the nursery, and decided to distribute them. Besides the orange seeding, he has been able to work with other cooperatives, providing them beans to sell. He even has a poultry farm. When you see on the flyer, this is why we have said that Okafia is not just one of those who will come for the poor power. When they give it to him, he go and sit with it. He is not an audio developer. He's not audio developer. He's not an abstract developer. You can vividly see what he is involved into. You look at a flyer, you will see the poultry that right now you want to visit the poultry area, I carry you to Batala. If you want to visit some of the orange side area, I carry you Sanoe, I carry you Kolila, I carry you Parala.
Wonderful. Let me come back to this another major concern wherein you have Senator Prince Kamumoy, who is supporting another senatorial candidate in these elections. And when God go in your direction, more especially you have the opportunity to take on the Bong County people job as the next senator, think Kafia take on the leadership. How you guys will reconcile having Moy and Kafia in the house to do the Bong County people work?
And I will also reference my big brother, Prince. Prince knows the tolerance of Kafia. Kafia is a tolerant leader. And there are a lot of things that have gone out against Kafia, people who he has helped, even a certain vice president, who Kafia was very instrumental in making sure that she became the senator during her second term in 2014. The sitting vice president is not supporting Kafia, but you would never hear him talking about it. Again, there are people that Kafia was able to assist personally on the national scene, on the local scene. Some of them might not be supporting him. There are a lot of our colleagues who go and insult him, but he's a tolerant leader. You will never hear him in that kind of rebuff posture or rebuff manner responding to any of them. Right now, you can see that Kafia is also supported. That's why he's a candidate and one of the executive committee members of the People's Unification Party the party that he was instrumental in making sure that it being established, and the party that he contesting on, but he is supporting the same Joe Howard Taylor that is bringing somebody against him. So you see how tolerant he is.
Let me join in there. That was a question I wanted to ask. I will ask a question, but let me just build up on it. So Honorable Kafia comes from the People Unification Party, a party that have endorsed the CDC re-election bid. But the vice president, who is very influential in the party, who is the second person to the president, is not supporting him. How does that affect his election? Is that something that affects his election?
No.
How do you see it?
No, it does not affect the election, because you know what? The people will be voting on the basis of tangibles and not just mere talk.
Is the CDC campaigning for the honorable?
Yeah.
As a party?
Yeah, this is his campaigning.
Okay.
With the exception of the VP, all of the executive committee members of the CDC, including the president, support Elon Kafia because they have researched in Bong County and realized that Kafia has done so much well for the people and could not do it. So there is no need that they put for a candidate against him. And this is why they are resolved. They have talked to all of the partisans. Because they have talked to the leadership, the county leadership, the national leadership, and across to talk, to see reason to support Elon Kafia.
And how is that?
And this is why you will not see a senatorial candidate on the ballot box for the CDC.
How is that message resonating with both?
Yeah, it's resonating because you have a citizen on the other side who are pledging their support to Kafia in the mass. Then you have Kafia support base. Honorable former Senator Henry Yala supports Kafia.
What do you mean when you say former senator? He's still sitting. He has months.
No, you talk about Henry Yala.
Oh, sorry.
I'm talking about my
Go
boss.
ahead.
No, sorry.
Your former boss.
Yes,
Your
I'm
former
talking about
boss.
Henry Yala. I'm not talking about the old man who had the inability to be able to
So your former boss.
Yeah, my former boss. Just I think 2 days ago, he made an open declaration in the lower end. Though he had made a declaration in the upper end in your own district, Kokoya, but 2 days ago he made an open declaration at the town hall where he declared his support. Mayu, former Senator Yala is one of those leaders in Bong County that you have to reckon with. The man still has a base intact. So you have former Senator Yala. So former Yala say with the leadership. In structure across the country. Then you have a base. You have Kafia base. Then you have the citizen who have resolved the supporting base. So those bases, when they collaborate, and which they are doing right now, and then Amaka made a force and go to the ballot box, it will be a tsunami. Because I have come to talk about the workings of Kafia and to also sharpen to make the people minds to reflect on time past, because there were times that people brought people here to us in the district, in this county, and we voted them on silver platter.
Who did that? Who are those people?
One, you have our sitting lawmaker. Our sitting lawmaker have been found in a constant habit of going to politicians, those who should be those who will vie for senatorial position to go and mass wealth from those people.
What's the fact?
And the gentlemen of the community.
What's the fact?
Are there. We have people planted in the camp. All of the cars you see here, all of the cars that are owned by the honorable lawmaker or Mabri Mesa, branded by her with a photo. The t-shirt you see flying around, the camping materials. Those camping materials were being given by somebody in the name of the person got money. And you also have some. This is why we continue to say you got to watch the messenger. Not only the message, because somebody will say, if somebody call you, hello, if somebody call you, do not refuse to call. Go and see. But in fact, the person that call you should be able to be mindful, because all of the, in fact, all of the people that are coming, those messengers that are coming, they are the same messenger that brought that the Topa headed by Mama P. Mesa.
So let me ask you a question.
The same messenger headed by Mama P. Mesa. I see messenger that brought with zero impact in our district, in our county.
Yeah. You want a county?
Yeah. So you want a county. So we cannot, the parent say, I know you are a parent, you speak, you are very fluent parent. The parent say, but we cannot allow this same rhetoric, this same lies to resonate in the midst of our people, that they will be carried away. You'll be carried away.
We may not have enough time to see this, but this is something that would need further clarity. You allege that the honorable representative is campaigning.
That's a fact. Is that allegation?
Campaign materials for vehicles are all being recommended. No, it's been given by who? Who is that person giving it?
You know, sometimes when I get on the platform, I don't even let them mention that name.
Who is that person?
We have one name that she run here around here in the name of the men that made
she
here.
Declare herself for Johnny Bay.
One Johnny Bay. Yeah, one Johnny Bay. But I don't let her even call a name.
Why?
That's a minute because
it's a candidate in this election.
No.
Why were you not calling?
I see it as a candidate of non-entity.
Why say so?
So I don't let her dwell on people that come with abstract development. Take for example, they promised that they were going to bring a yellow machine here. When the yellow machine landed in our district, the first road they decided to pave was the Lomata road, because they heard that Okafia was also constructing a town hall there. Where did the yellow machine go? It did not even pass by the grave. If you know the graveyard, on the Tobacco Road, the yellow machine is now parked at the Besa Farm area. They rotate it. Instead of working in the district, they rotate it. They take it from one end to another, just parking. From Besa Farm to Flella, from Flella to Maimu. Is that the way you brought it? So you see the abstract development there? Are you seeing the abstract development? So we cannot continue to listen to a leader who will go to somebody, to a mass web and the development of the community.
Right.
You go and get thousands or millions of dollars for the man to sponsor your campaign, thereby buying cars, and then branding it with a photo of 50
so let's go to the line.
Or some of our brothers go in the community and talk to the man to sponsor the wedding. Then it's not development. That is not development. The development cannot be abstract. If you want the people to follow you, call the man and identify project in the community so that the man can undertake those projects. The one Okafia is doing that with the poor hospital.
All right,
Louis Sopolo is here. Representing the camp of Bong County District Number 5, Representative Edward Kafia. He's been speaking on issues that matter, the numbers to call if you want to be part of the show this morning. I'm here with Albert Willie. The numbers are 077-10-555-5. Yeah, we got a caller on the line. Good evening. Good morning, Sari. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. This is Samuel, and I'm phoning from the office of on the Willow Thompson in Totota.
Sammy, you have a minute. Just make your point in 1 minute. Go ahead.
Like always, you have the liberation message of the next senator, Edward W. Kabia. But I want to stress some of the questions you asked relative to somebody who is a government official and not supporting him as being supported by the government. So I want to say to you guys that Honorable Kabia is a very tolerant leader, and I believe that he's doing all of these things. He doesn't care about who he is here or not because of the good of the county. His sole purpose is to around the entire county. Because of that, he wouldn't want to go in battle with any leader because there might be reconciliation along the way. Lastly, the issue about some other politicians admiring work from other politicians. It is factual.
Allegedly.
In the district.
Allegedly.
That go around and just along with all of the politicians and create chaos among them. And she take those money and cannot do the necessary development way. In there, there's a noise right now. Also, in all of places, there are series of noise.
Okay, Samuel.
She take the money and cannot do the adequate development. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Just a minute. Good evening. Sorry,
in the camp who gave us.
Good morning.
Morning, my name is Richard. I'll be calling you from Stanley Junction right there.
Richard, go ahead. 1 minute.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to tell the studio guys, thank you for your deliberation. You spoke very well. At least the message went. I would like the people of Bong County to know that with the level of work Honorable County has done in the entire county, he's going to be elected comes October 10th as the next senator to replace Dr. Henry Chopa from Bong County. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll take calls on 0777 10 55 55. Good morning.
Good morning, my distinguished young brother, and good morning to Legend Alabama Willie.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, my friend, but I'm a little different.
1 minute, bro. Go ahead.
A little different.
Yeah, I listened to deliberation. Just killing myself last night. And I thought Mr. Louis just Popolo had been around for too long in politics. But again, the come this morning and the journalist quizzing me and you flip-flopping this morning, I thought it's party. And even it's an affront. So that a heavy former paper and sitting senator, when you are seeing the man have been incapacitated because he was representing every woman, Kabia, my own good friend, big brother, to replace him. No, that's not how politics works. You need to openly apologize to the people of Bong County by creating misinformation on the radio this morning that the Topa is incapacitated.
Thank you, Steve.
But for Mama Bridge Mesa being a very decent woman, that the people of Sarah District know a decent mother. For Mr. Luigi is supposed to sit on the radio to say, Mama Bridge Mesa goes around amazing work at the detriment of the people of Sarah District. I thought it started my mind.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead. Take another call. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Florida Gibson. A call from Florida Main Street.
Go ahead, Jay. 1 minute.
Yeah, this is just a question I want to ask Mr. Sopolo in the studio right there.
Go ahead, Jonathan.
Yeah, this is a question to you, my bro. Yeah. I want to ask you something. You discussing somebody because they are supporting Johnny Biden, meaning they are not working something for him or getting money from him. So
thank you.
The question goes to you. Where Gambia now is supporting the Georgia-led government, the CDC, the party. So you want to tell me whatever development and Gambia is carrying on, is he taking money or you have been sponsored by George Weah? This is not how politics goes.
Thank you. The question is well. We'll take calls on.
Hello. You keep the set of Canada, right?
Yeah, so listen to me now. Louis is under the obligation to.
So is he asking question or he making statement?
Don't do that.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you so much. We'll take calls on
take 1 or 2.
Yeah, we'll take 2 more calls. We'll call your days after 10 o'clock. We have about 18 minutes after 10, so by 10:20 we'll be closing up. We'll take 2 minutes. 0777 10 55 55 0555 98 66 65. My name is Prince. I'm here with Albert Uha, caller on the line. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. What is the Robert Guaya, after you to the last call.
Yes, thank you very much. Good morning to Luis Sopolo.
Good morning.
I think Sopolo.
Good morning, my people.
That's why he's taking away.
It is alleged that your lawmaker is being sponsored. All the cash he got here in the party for paraphernalia is being sponsored by Johnny Pay.
But
you are free. So when the time that falling out, district politics. For operation, when I met I one guy burning over photo. So what other guys? And for the new issue, I'm going to district 5 by one of the people. Now, Jack will come in, for the first time in history. We will pay 200 and it's
Thank you. Thank you to the last call. Thank you, Robert, to the last call. Okay, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I want to say thank you for your deliberation this morning. To the point, Honorable County has shared, Honorable County brings a lot of experience to the work. And I always tell people that Bong County is a county that should be a county of relevance, a county of standard, a county of representation. Bong County is the central part of Liberia. You will not be. Hello?
Why are you lying, Ali?
We will not be carrying a senator who will not be able to represent our county adequately. If you observe across the country, every county is getting on their best. That is why Honorable Edo will be captured.
And so who is not the best here?
One of the best is Honorable Edo will be captured because he has the requisite experience.
One of the best.
Yeah, one of the best.
So there are many best.
There are several best across the country.
Okay, go ahead.
There are several Bong County. One of our best that we talk about now to represent us in the Senate is Honorable Edo will be captured. So he has a lot of experience. He has served in several committees. He has served in several positions in terms of the legislature. When he served as the representative for 12 years with a lot of experience. Somebody say, oh, the man served for 12 years. One coming in, one over another one, and 9 years. There are several years for election now that have served for more than that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Aliyu. We've gone out of time. Thank you so much for having making your contribution. We can take just 30 seconds on that call for this caller. Just 30 seconds. Just go ahead, call me your name and say what you want to say. Good morning. What is the name? Where are you calling us from? 30 seconds now.
They pack on one era. And they pack on one era under the planting.
People carry around 2020 election that Senator Primway bought a car for Honorable Mesa for the support. I challenge you to get into you. There is not even a single Muruba that Tony K.P. I gave to Honorable Mesa to campaign for him. Honorable Mesa spent for own money for 10 days.
Okay, bro.
For any other person.
Thank you.
It's clear that Honorable Mesa is a serious force against all everyone who is in this region. That's why he's supposed to trying to get on the radio.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Nat. Thank you. We close there. So, Louis, Jesse.
Yeah, so thank you. So I want to.
Yeah, let me just roll over some of the concern.
Yeah,
I actually concerned about
You can get it.
I got it. I got it with the need.
Very brief. We have to go. Go ahead.
Jonathan Gibson. Jonathan Gibson. We are not talking about just a leader going to support. I am not against or Mama Mesa for supporting whosoever she want to support. So you were asking the question about what I mean if Kafia is so even if Kafia is supporting George, we are re-election and Kafia managed to get some money from George, we are bringing the community and make tangible development there, then of course we will take that into consideration. But what we are against is Mama Mesa should muster the courage. Whosoever candidate that should be supporting to come here, especially when she said that the man that millionaire get money, should come here and build something that the poor will be able to benefit. That's what we are talking about. But you should not go no t-shirt she got on Mama People that served for 6 years as an independent candidate. She have never been able to say she have been moving from one end to another with steaming on no guy. So she had never gotten that work to be able to support a campaign.
You really should.
Luckily for her, I'm telling you, luckily for her now, she got one so-called millionaire in the race who tangible cannot be seen, but she go to the millionaire to give her money. They see kind of color that she used, like the same color that the millionaire using, because that meeting was here, that we use the same color, we do everything together. But that's the partnership. Somebody, the partnership you have, I mean, an impact on the community. The partnership you have an impact on the community. Yes. So our brother, that's just one of the questions I'm trying to address. Our brother who has stood under the plum tree, right on the football field. Our brother who has stood under the plum tree, the Nathaniel Jobber, the Brinda, they rob money, they sing 6 and 7. They sing and go and come. Who are swallowing the plum tree? Right in the graveyard, the little graveyard, to be calling here and there. I'm telling you, those things that you continue to do, the community will not be able to follow or not be messy to be doing, to be amassing work at the detriment of them. Where she will go, she get money from the person. If you say the person is a millionaire, let be proving. Let me prove it.
So we have to go. We have to go.
So we come to see it dinner.
Yeah, you have to close it.
No, let me respond to them. See it dinner need to muster the courage also to visit the West Indian dictionary and go to the word incapacitated. Or incapacitation. Then you will get to understand that's an assignment for you. Then you will get to know that it's not a denigrating matter. When you are unable to do certain things, you are incapacitated. And October is unable to serve Bong County in the Senate. So he's incapacitated. That is not an ingrate word, a denigrating word. Then I come to Robert, you see it? The other development in Astra. The same play on Kafia went and paved the road, and the same play in Badala. We are talking about Mabi Meta is not representing Josepha, it's not representing Badala. We are talking about Sala District. Closer to us here, Lomata Road, the Sala Tisle Mission Road, the Tobacco Road. What have you done about it? Then you'll be going way Badala, and it's a maze. It's a maze. It's a maze. There is no development that Johnny Pay is carrying across the country. The poor worker, they lie, they may get money. But meanwhile, when the man go to play, he gave 1 million. When he gave 1 million, he did beyond chaos, he did beyond noise, and he did beyond even death.
All right. Thank you so much, Sopolo.
So we are talking to our people.
Thank you so much.
Come October 10, vote on everyone will make Kafia for your tangible development and the human resource capacity building, so that Bong County will be on the right trajectory under the leadership of Kafia. They are afraid because when Kafia is elected, Kafia will deface all of them through a developmental initiative across Bong County. So don't listen to them. Don't listen to any leader that will go to Johnny Pay to get money in order to sponsor a wedding or to get money in order to sponsor her re-election. Don't listen to her. Enough is enough. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much for this. Doing FPS.
You know, when you get into
that's how I talk.
Go ahead.
That's how I talk.
So I hope that I will talk with Abba, organize a debate here that will come and moderate.
I will bury them 100 feet.
But
100 feet. Jesus Christ, the rest of it will never return.
Great in the action. Again, like I said from the onset, we will be around here in our contribution to the show to Bong County as large. Let me say, we again
are
the obligation to dig deep on this platform. It's not the view of Radio Totota, it's the view of Louis Sopolo.
That's my view, and that's the reality.
We're going to go beyond that, but thank God for the colors.
One of our brothers, Samawu said, and you are posting the video completely. What the North fair, completely with the orange that you consider.
He said that the lawmaker is being sponsored or allegedly amassing wealth on Jamaica. That is not the view of the institution, neither the view of the talk show host. But again, we're going to go beyond that to do our investigation.
Thank you so much.
My name is Prince Mobile. Eben Nas, share this platform with Albert Willie.
Many thanks to Senior Man Prince here. Thank you so much, Ejika Saki, for also sitting at control. It's been a wonderful time. Thank you for watching. Those of you who've been watching live, thank you for Focus on Liberia TV. Thank you, the listeners. We are getting there bit by bit. Do have yourself a wonderful heated morning from Central Liberia. And we hope to be back on tomorrow. Bye-bye. I'm out.
Okay.